Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rob's XW project. So today I'm back in the garage doing a little bit of work on the car. I haven't been doing that much of the panel work because it's hard. It's hard to know what to do with it once you've got it going. So that's been pretty minimal. I have got the wheels on. We'll take a look at that. But really what I'm focusing on today is what we're doing on the engine here. So it's going to be a little while before a V8 goes into this car, so just to make it easier to move this car around, currently the engine does not run. I just want to do a bit of work on getting this engine up and running if possible. You can see I've got the plug leads off. It's been a number of years that this hasn't been running actually, since probably 7 or 8 years I think. So I basically just pulled the plugs out, put a bit of oil down the cylinder bores, taken the cover off. Just make sure it'll turn over okay. And it has been, seems okay from what I can tell. I don't know if it's perfect. Did have to change the water pump there. You can see I've got a water pump in the back corner there. That's got to go on. So I've got a brand new water pump to go in. You can see I've got the rocker off. Everything seems okay, although a couple of these got a bit of movement. It's a bit better now actually. Had a bit of, one of those was a bit loose. I think it was this one, or this one. It seems to be better. I put a bit of oil down the lifter hole there, just to see if that would get the lifter maybe moving a little bit. I mean, I haven't started it, so yeah. So you can see here, I've numbered all the plug leads, so we know which one goes where. You can see that's number 3. It's this one, 4. Just number all those. I've also numbered all the plugs. I've got all the plugs sitting somewhere. I've got this new breaker bar here, just to turn it around. So it's another tool to add to the toolkit. So I'm going to stick the cover back on. And okay, so I have got the rims on. Thought we'd just do a quick look at that. You can see here, I'll just move the camera down here. That's the front one, 15x6. I just put a Michelin on it. I feel like this Michelin may be a little bit too low a profile. But anyway, it'll do for what we're doing right now. And obviously it's still got the standard suspension in the front, so it's actually quite high. If we go to the back is really tight with these rims. The dish was actually quite a bit deeper than what I anticipated. And you can see here, my fingers don't even fit under there, but it does have lower end blocks in it. And it's going to require a narrowed 9-inch, which I'm fine with for what I'm doing. You can also see I've done a bit of work on the cleaning up some of the rust here. Just working through here and just trying to identify that, but I don't want to take the glass out yet because I don't have the room for it. Maybe let's run around and we'll have a look at the other side. All right, so you can see this side here. You can see that wheel actually fits under a bit better on this side. And I think there's been a bit of damage on the other side actually, because this has got a bit of a nicer curve here, although it does look like there's some body filler in there. But if we have a look at that wheel, that looks really good. It would need the guards rolled, but it does look, I actually like the fit on this side, but I feel like this is the correct profile for the guard here, where the other one doesn't look quite right now when I'm looking at this. This has sort of got a lip that comes out. You can see that goes all the way around and sort of doesn't really flatten off till here. Around the other side, it doesn't quite look like that. And it has got a different color door and stuff, so I've got a feeling it's been hit on that side at some point. And that guard needs a bit of work on the other side. Okay, I should also point out this is a 250 2V head. As you can see here, this manifold's actually quite different from your typical 2V. You've got your inlet here on the top, and you've got your exhaust sitting here underneath, which is a little bit different to what you'd see in your typical 250. And I'll see if I can put a picture, show what I'm talking about there. So that makes this head a little bit special, and I didn't actually know much about this head or this type of 6 until till recently actually, when I saw someone selling one on Facebook and wondered why it was going for so much money. So I'm going to get it going and get some use out of it before the 8 goes in it at some point. Okay, so we're having a look at the guard on this side again. You can see it does kind of just barely fit under, but that wouldn't be legal. But if I look at the guard here, you can kind of see there's a bit of the taper there, but then it kind of just goes a lot flatter here, and it's almost flat here, which is not how it is on the other side. There's quite a bit more of a lip here, and I think that's why there's something funky going on with this guard on this side. That's something we'll have to rectify at some point. Anyway, I'm going to keep cracking on with this 6 and see how we go. Doing the water pump. I've got the water pump off. I've got the old one. You can see this is the old housing, W04 KC. It's actually pretty corroded. I thought I'd buy another one. Oops. So I do have a replacement one. This is about 50 bucks. W04 KC. It's got a little gasket which comes with it, which is good. But then we've also got the old water pump. So this is how this looks. It's had better days. It's not looking too great. It's a bit corroded. I've given this a flush. I've flushed the radiator and stuff. So that's all done. So what I'm going to be doing is putting in this GMB water pump, which is for one of these as well. We'll take this out. It also comes with its own gasket. And there we go. It's still in its packet. I haven't taken that out. It looks pretty good. Funnily enough though, 50 bucks for a whole water pump with an impeller and everything. 50 bucks for a thermostat housing. But this doesn't have a thermostat there, but I'm just not going to worry about that. So the whole goal here, what we're trying to do is just get the car to start. So this is the first step. I've already turned the engine over by hand. It's turning over. It doesn't look like it's got any real issues. I think it'll be okay. But we won't know until we get the water pump on, replace the battery and give it a go. Okay, so this is a few days later. I was working on the water pump, putting that in. I ran into some problems. The GoPro went flat. I got frustrated. I just turned everything off and just thought, let's work on the car. So that's kind of what I did, but I wanted to give you an update. I'm going to wrap up this video here so I can upload it. You guys can, follow along. There's been a few things. So I did get, let's have a look there. I did get the water pump in, thermostat housing on, got all that mounted back in. I did have to take the radiator out to mount the fan again because you just can't get those bolts in there and it's a pain in the ass. Pulled the radiator out, made a note that those bolts and stuff that bolt that radiator in are crap. So I've made a note to buy some new ones. So that'll be something that'll get resolved. Working on this engine to get this started. Got the obligatory block off spark plug because you never know if you need more power. Yeah, and trying to get this engine going just so we can move this around. I can move this outside, then we can check out the wheels, which is one of the things that's frustrating me. I can't really move it right now because pushing it is a pain in the ass, and there's a bit of a ramp out here and you can't get this thing back up on your own. And yeah, no one in my family wants to help push. So there you go. Currently, new battery. That was something that was updated. I was putting this on the trickle charger because I've almost got this up and running again. Did clean some of these terminals. I bought these terminals from Repco. They seem really good. Got rid of the old crappy ones. Also updated the positive one. So these are a positive and a negative one, and they're sort of designed to fit the positive and negative terminal, which actually aren't exactly the same diameter. So the negative one's actually slightly smaller. Also use my Dremel to just clean off the negative lead there and improve that to make sure we've got a good connection. I had some problems trying to start it. I was losing powers, pulling my hair out, getting pretty frustrated. But I found, I think it was because I'd forgotten that a number of years ago when I used to drive the car around, I put a safety switch or a security switch, and I think that was the issue. So I've also moved this gauge outside the car. This is a mechanical oil pressure gauge. You can see there's an oil pressure line there. I noticed there was some oil dripping at the bottom of the dash and on the wiring. Not smart. Don't know what I was thinking when I did that. Obviously not a good idea having these kind of lines running into your car with fluid, flammable liquids, potentially get in the car. So I've got to do a good clean on that. Bought this Stanley from Stanley Multimeter. Never had a multimeter, but that's been handy in diagnosing some of the power struggles and if everything's working as it should. Tidied all this back up as good as I could anyway. Got this on the trickle charger and got that plugged in. So that's kind of where we're at. We're getting really close to starting. It does turn over. I've done all that by hand. It winds over now off the starter. But what's currently happening is it's starving for fuel. I don't have a huge amount of fuel in this. I did get some fuel, put it in there. It's only maybe less than a quarter of a tank. And I'm not seeing any fuel coming up into the fuel filter. Maybe I'll just change that. And hopefully that resolves the issue, but it's looking like it's going to run. It's definitely going to start, which is going to be pretty cool. Then I can move this around, at least get it outside and get a bit of a side view on it because I haven't seen it since I put it in here outside. And I want to see what the wheels look like. You can kind of see where this one's sitting, just barely under. That's pretty low. I've got to pull the lowering blocks out to make sure I don't damage that wheel because that's going to rub on the guard. But if I pull, I think they're 1.5 inch blocks or 2 inch blocks, that'll lift it up until I get the short 9 inch. And then we'll be good to go. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, I thought I'd give you an update. If you have subscribed recently, thanks a lot. That's really appreciated. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Just watch, enjoy if you like this kind of stuff. Also, a couple of call outs. If you like Cleveland's, check out Drag Boss on YouTube. Tim's really cool over there. He's doing a lot of stuff on the Cleveland. If you're interested in Cleveland V8s, it's really cool. So, and he just recently had an interview with Tristan Trickus. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up here so I can get this online. You guys can watch it. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Tell me if you're building a car in the comments. I'd like to see it or hear about it. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.